What is going on, UFC card lovers? Welcome back here to another weekly episode of UFC Card Talk. My name is Damien, and if you're new to the channel here at UFC Card Talk, I talk about everything to do with UFC cards, from collecting and investing, and also recent UFC card hobby news. This week's video, I am going to be talking about the latest big sale we had in the UFC card hobby. That was the Hamzat 2021 Rookie Gold Prizm. It was a PSA 10. I'm going to be covering over that sale, giving my thoughts, and I also want to go over the evolution of the UFC card hobby to date, starting all the way back from 2009 through to 2023 and onwards. I want to go back, check out the release of all the sets that we've had so far, and talk about them in general, talk about the numbers of sets we've had per year since UFC card hobby started in 2009. If you're new to the channel, you like what I'm doing here at UFC Card Talk, if you are interested in UFC cards, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on my weekly UFC card videos. And hey, if you like what I'm doing here as well, while you're at it, please hit that like button. That lets me know that you are enjoying these videos and you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out there just for you guys. Let's get straight into this week's video. So for those of you who do not know, as I'm recording this video, it is Tuesday the 16th of May. We did have a big sale in the UFC card hobby last night with the Hamzat Rookie Gold Prizm. It was a PSA 10. It was selling on eBay, ending at a whopping $30,098.
Oh my God! Wow!
This is pretty big news for us guys in the UFC card hobby, because not very often do we have sales over the 5k mark, let alone 30,000. So as we check out this sale here on the Card Ladder platform, we can see it was a 2021, it was the Gold Prizm, his rookie year, 10 of 10, it was a PSA 10, selling for $30,098, May 16th on eBay at auction. This is, for me, it's a very interesting sale. There's few comments I want to make about this card. Obviously, it's up for debate. Is this card actually worth $30,000? From what we've seen from other sales, I did do a video earlier on this year in March, when I did do that video on Jon Jones with his Bloodlines 2012 1-of-1 autograph selling for around the $20,000 mark. This card obviously is selling for basically another 9 to 10,000 extra on top of that. Is this card worth that price? It's up for debate. It's up for debate for us guys in the hobby. Obviously, at least two bidders have thought that this card was worth somewhere around that value. Was this shield bidded? Is this a verified sale? These are all questions that come to mind straight away. These are things that will be revealed in a couple of days' time. It gives us something to talk about. It gives buzz to the UFC card market, which is always a good thing. We can talk about the importance of 2001. Obviously, it was a debut year of Panini Prizm for UFC. That is very big in itself. This is a Gold Prizm. Gold Prizms are the most sought after. They're the most prestigious, the most iconic Panini card. It's the most well known in the hobby in regards to Panini products. This one being a PSA 10, this one being a rookie of Hamzat Chimaev. Well, let's break this down a little bit. Obviously, I just want to start by saying I'm a true believer. From what I've learned so far in my 18 months in the UFC card hobby, it is that more than anything, more than performance, more than likability, I believe that it is hype and its relevance that drives the high prices, the popularity of the fighters in the UFC card market. And I think this is a perfect example of that. Yes, I understand it's a PSA 10. Yes, I understand it's a Gold Prizm. Yes, I understand it, but are we really going to compare the legacy to date of Hamzat Chimaev with someone like Jon Jones? Yes, it wasn't Jon Jones's rookie Gold Prizm that we saw for a sale in March for around the 20,000. That was a 1-of-1 autograph from a very prestigious set in Bloodlines. See, if you're new to the market, if you're new to the UFC card hobby, maybe you don't yet know about the older top sets. For me, clear that one thing is quite certain, and that is hype and relevance sell. I've mentioned this a few times. I've been watching the UFC since 2007. It's hard for other people to understand. If you've been watching the UFC for any longer than 5 or 6 years, obviously people will be up in arms. People are going to say, this card is not worth it. This card is not worth the price of John Jones, if GSP, if Conor McGregor for that fact, if all those fighters, all the girls even, Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, all of these fighters who have had long successful careers to date and are still active, why are they not getting these massive sales? It's because even someone like John Jones, yes, he did have his comeback fight against Cyril Gane earlier on this year, but there's just so many more fans of the UFC now. I truly believe that 80% of the UFC viewers, the fans now, they probably didn't watch the sport 5-10 years ago. Since the inception of Conor McGregor in 2014, yes, that is coming on 10 years now, but Conor McGregor did not get to his height in popularity until around 2016, 2017. That is when the UFC was able to draw in so many more fans, and then through other different events, they were able to keep the fans interested and keep the fans into the sport. And we've seen what the UFC have done, how much they have grown since that time. So for some of the old school UFC fans to not understand why these new fighters like Khamzat Chimaev, who has not achieved that much in his career yet. Yes, he's had some dominant, impressive wins. His best win to date is definitely against Gilbert Burns, but that was a very, very close fight, and some people might have even scored that fight for Gilbert. So the fact that Khamzat Chimaev has not yet won a title, he has not yet participated in a title fight, just goes to prove that relevance sells. And what my point I'm getting at here is, comparing him to John Jones, comparing him to GSP, so many more people over the last 5 or 6 years have started to watch the UFC. And my point is, how many more people have watched a Khamzat Chimaev event compared to a John Jones event? There is so many more people who are watching the UFC now. It just can't be compared to when John Jones was at the height of his career. It just cannot be compared. The viewership now, the main events, the pay-per-views now, they just get so much more buys, they get so many more views. But not only that, it seems to be that hype sells, and this is not just in UFC market, of course, this is across all sports. Hype sells. Even if players, basketball players, football players, they may not have reached the height of the pinnacle of the sport, people are buying and they are pricing in, factoring what the potential career that Khamzat Chimaev could have. Yes, he is a dominant fighter. He has put on great performances. He's well loved and he's hated as well at the same time by different fan groups, but he is very well known. Could he win a title at 170 pounds? Could he win a title at 185 pounds? Could he even go up at 205 pounds and win a title? These are all things that Khamzat has publicly stated in his interviews. He wants to be the first ever 3-time world champion in the UFC. Is it possible? Of course, anything is possible in this crazy sport of MMA. Is it likely? I don't know. And these are the things that is what buying on hype is all about. People are factoring all these things and they are basically buying these cards for these prices, hoping that these things happen. This is where the gambling part really comes into the hobby. And as I said, it's not just UFC, it's amongst all sports. This is like saying, I'm going to go out and spend $30,000 on lottery tickets. Of course, my chances of winning that lottery, it increases because of the amount of tickets I've just bought, but it is still not a certain. Just like it is not certain that Khamzat is going to make anything of his career yet, because he still has yet to do that. So back to the question, is this card worth $30,000? I don't know. What I do know is that gold Prizms, especially gold rookie Prizms for the first debut year of Panini Prizm for UFC, that is a really big deal. No matter the fighter, even if this was a gold rookie Prizm of Brendan Moreno, for example, he has so far had a great career. His rookie Prizm was in the debut year of Panini Prizm as well, 2021. I think those cards in particular will be the ones that will be sought after in the future. But for this card to sell for such high price, yes, it's a great thing for a hobby. It's fantastic for the hobby. It gets people like me talking. I'm sure other guys out there are going to be making content about that. It gets the eyes on the UFC card hobby. And for me, comparing this sale to the Hasbulla sale that we saw earlier on in the month for $25,000 for his blue shimmer or whatever that was, This is the stuff that needs to be talked about, because this actually brings respect to the UFC card market. The fact that we are having Hamzat Gold Prizms PSA 10s selling for $30,000, that is something real within the UFC card hobby that needs to be acknowledged. So that is a very great thing. As I said, if this card's worth that, that is still yet to be seen. Let me know down in the comments below. I'm so interested to hear from you guys about this big sale. Is this card worth that price today, and where's it going to be in 5 or 10 years time? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. So guys, the second part of this video, what I wanted to do for you, I wanted to go over, we're going to scroll through the Cardboard Connection website, and we're going to check out all the sets that have been released from UFC dating from 2010 onwards. Obviously we did have the sets released from Topps in 2009, starting from round 1. But what I want to do here, guys, I want to shine a little bit of light on where we are in the hobby now with the Panini products compared to where we've come from in the past with the Topps products. So we can start off by saying 2010 we had 1, 2, 3 products with the Topps Knockout, the Topps Main Event, and also the Topps Series 4. In 2011, we had the Topps Finest, we had the Moment of Truth, and we also had the Title Shot, 3 products as well for 2011. 2012 is the same thing. We had the Bloodlines, we had the Finest, and we also had the Knockout. 2013, same thing again. We had the Bloodlines, we had the Finest, and we had the Knockout. 3 sets in 2013, and we will see a replica of that in 2014 with the Bloodlines, the Champions, and the Knockout. We saw the return of Champions again, along with Chronicles for the first year, 2015, and then we had the Knockout as well. So we had another 3 sets in 2015. We can see for 2016 was the first year we had 4 sets. We had the Topps Now, we had the Topps High Impact cards, we had the Topps Knockout, and we also had the Topps Museum. First year of Museum, guys. Key to note this, for you guys who love Topps Museum, 2016 was the first year of Topps Museum. We also had Top of the Class. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sets for 2016. We saw the Topps Now again in 2017. We had the Topps Chrome, first ever year of Topps Chrome, guys. I've made a previous video about breaking down the set of 2017 Topps Chrome. Very iconic product in my opinion. We also had the Topps Fire from 2017. We had the Topps Knockout and the Topps Museum again. So 2017 saw us with 5 sets again. 2018 we had a return of Topps, a second year of Topps Chrome. We also had the Topps Knockout after taking 2 years off. We then had the Topps Museum. So just 4 releases for 2018. And then 2019 we had the last year of Topps Chrome for UFC to date. We had the Topps Knockout, and then we had the Topps Museum. So just 3 releases in 2019. While 2020, the last year that Topps had the license for UFC cards, we had the Knockout. We had the flagship product 2020 Topps, along with striking signatures. So just 3 releases for 2020, and now we come into the Panini era of UFC, and this is where you're going to see it get interesting. We started off obviously with the debut year, the Panini Prizm for UFC 2021. We also had the premium box set. These are the premium box scopes that you will see floating around on the selling platforms. These are typically all numbered to 99, the base at least. We then had Chronicles, we then had Immaculate, and we then had Select. So a total of 4 products in 2021 for Panini. Obviously Panini were trying to get a grasp product itself. This is the first year they had the license for UFC, so they're trying to get a grasp of what sells and what doesn't sell for UFC. But obviously keep in mind, in 2020, 2021, with the pandemic, with the absolute ridiculous explosion of sports cards in general, 2021 was a great year for all sports cards. And then that brings us 2022. Starting off again, we did have the Prizm, but we also did have Not only did we have Donruss, but we had Donruss Optic at the end. We had Panini Chronicles again, so there's 3. We had the Panini Immaculate, that's 4. With the Prizm we're at 5, and with Select we're at 6. And that's not including obviously the premium box set as well, along with the other instant products that Panini offers. But keeping to these main products, we can see that Panini in 2022 actually had 6 releases. That's including 2 more than what we saw in 2021. Check quickly as well, see if we can check what the actual official release date was for 2022 Donruss. So we can see the release date for Donruss was 2022 May the 6th. So then this year, obviously we have had the release of 2023 Prizm, along with the recent undercard Prizm product, which is an extra Prizm release from what we've seen in previous years. There will be the premium box scope product for 2023 Prizm as well, but we also have the release of 2023 Donruss coming up as well. There is no official release date yet, I believe, for 2023 Donruss, but I do believe it is set to be released next month in June. But what my point is, guys, I'm getting, we have seen an increase between 2021 to 2022. There was 2 extra products for Panini UFC. We are steaming towards halfway through the year. We can see that premium box set starting at $2,500, and then along with the hobby for Donruss coming soon. So what I'm getting at here, guys, is just the increase that we are seeing in the releases from Panini compared to where we were back with Topps. I'm just interested to know where we're going to be at for 2023 Panini UFC. Are we going to see another increase in sets this year? Will we have Optic again? Obviously, we will definitely be having Select. We've got the Panini Prizm, we've got the undercard product, we're going to have Donruss, then I think we should be Select coming out. We're already at 4 there. What will they do Chronicles again this year? Will they not do Chronicles? I believe they probably will do Chronicles. I think, if anything, Chronicles seem to have sold better in recent years compared to Donruss. And then we will be looking at having Optic again, Immaculate. So already there we're at 7. I think we might end up with 8 or so products this year, and I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, this is just me completely speculating now, which, as I said, you guys know I love to do it just because it's so fun for me. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a product, another Panini product like Mosaic come out this year, or maybe even National Treasures, to be honest. Obviously, National Treasures in years before has been a part of Chronicles, but I think that there is space in the UFC market for National Treasures to have its own standalone product, but I think Mosaic would be very fun as well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. How many releases are we going to end up with this year? I'm going to say we're going to be having 8 releases. It's 2 more than what we had in 2022 and 4 more from what we've seen in 2021. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think, and let me know what sets, what releases you think Panini are going to add to UFC this year. That's going to do it for this week's episode, guys. As always, thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, what are you doing? Hit the like button. I can't believe you've listened to me for this long. Thank you again, and I'll see you again here next week at UFC Card Talk.